Hi, my name is Ruby Montana, and I'm Proper Print Shop's lead volunteer. Thank you all for joining us for the El Paso Strong Memorial Art Auction. 1 year ago today, El Pasoans were starting what they thought would be a typical Saturday. Some were going to farmers markets, some were working on their yards, some were having fundraisers for their children's sports teams, and others were buying groceries or back-to-school supplies at their neighborhood Walmart. Unbeknownst to all of us carrying about in the Sun City, a white supremacist had other plans for us. He was going to target us for our race, our ethnicity, our culture, and do so in the most cowardly and horrific of ways. 23 innocent people lost their lives that day. This evil individual may have expected to break our collective spirit, but in fact, he made our spirit all the stronger. We made ourselves El Paso strong. As Proper Print Shop's lead volunteer during the sale of Viva La Mocha's original El Paso Strong shirts, I saw firsthand how so many of you, literally hundreds each day, were so very eager to help in some way and show your support through the purchase of the shirt, with all proceeds going to the El Paso Community Foundation's Victims Fund. In the end, Proper Print Shop and Mocha Designs were able to donate over $200,000 because of your generosity. So today, on the 1-year anniversary of the day that changed our lives forever, let us continue to show that generosity. A variety of El Paso artists, ranging from the much revered Patrick Gabaldon, Mitsu Overstreet, Jason Lucero, and Kristen Apodaca, to a middle school student just starting her art career, have all generously donated their creative and artistic visions of a poster designed by Proper Print Shop designer Charlie Monares. Each of these beautiful posters of an El Paso mountain scene is available for purchase by placing a bid on them. The opening bid for all posters is $100, with each increment raising by $25. Posters will go to the highest bidder, and all money will be going to the El Paso Victims Education Fund through the El Paso Community Foundation. To place a bid, go to properprintshop.com, select the poster or posters you'd like to bid on, and place your bid. You'll be asked to create an account so we can contact you should you win. Bidding will close end of day on Sunday, August 9th. So you get a beautiful piece of El Paso art while showing your El Paso strong spirit, all while supporting the Victims Education Fund. Let's turn now to some of the artists who donated their posters as they share their reflections on August 3rd, 2019.
It was and still is unbelievable. And so that day was pretty horrible, right? And it's definitely burned into our memories.
I stayed home. I turned on the news. I texted all my family and relatives to make sure that they were okay and make sure that everyone was safe. And my reaction was fear. I had nothing but fear.
I was just like, whoa, there's, a shooting, But as like the news unfolded, you realize the severity of what had happened.
The first part of the day, I was scrolling through my phone, reading the news, getting updated on things, and I got a text message from my sister who was she really wants to be a police officer. So I guess she was involved in some sort of, I don't know, I think she was following the El Paso Police Department on Facebook. And she happened to see these posts online about a possible shooter somewhere around Cielo Vista. So she texted me to make sure that I wasn't anywhere in the area. Then my whole family started texting each other to see if we were okay. And yeah, it's just talking about it now. It's kind of like experiencing that day all over again.
Shooting, I had just woken up and my phone alarm was blaring and I had a ton of missed calls from all my friends, and I was just really, really scared and startled because I never had anything like that happen before.
I think it also focused my creative output. I just created a heck of a lot more right after then. It was much easier to sit and paint than to talk some things out. You know, it was important that I talk to somebody and see a therapist, and that's been helpful. Even though I wasn't, you know, at the scene, or I wasn't immediately affected by by being there, it's still something I think reaches across.
I started painting officially in November, but it was actually the week after all this happened. I didn't know what to do. It got to the point where I didn't want to turn on the news. I didn't want to look on social media. It was just too much for me to handle.
I like to have a discussion, in a sense, with art and with fine art in general. It's more about talking about how my life relates to the thing that I'm talking about.
I think art is a catharsis. It's a lot like, it's something I feel compelled to do. And it definitely helps to maybe sketch something or draw something, or even write, just to get those initial feelings out.
It helps me express how I feel. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic, and so it's also one of those things where during this pandemic, it's helped me really cope with the emotions and the feelings that I have had personally with the shooting, but also, you know, during this pandemic as well. So like creating has just really helped, I guess, ease my mind, but at the same time, help me formulate like how I feel about certain things.
Helps me heal because I can express my feelings through just like a character's emotions by the colors, or even use symbols like I'm working on something with a phoenix in it because we rise from the ashes.
We were already proud of where we were from and proud of who we are and proud of our families and our history here on the border, but it kind of firmed that pride up even more.
I've always been proud to live in El Paso, born and raised in El Paso. Our community has always been there for each other prior to what happened. And the spirit, since it's happened, has just made us closer.
Overall, I think it strengthened what we've already had, which was a sense of family, and the extension of that, I think, is the community.
I think we've always been a community that's been there for each other. We always have each other's support, and even if we don't know each other and we're strangers, I feel like we're all related. We're all a big family, not just El Paso, but Juarez as well.
But we're all getting through this together. Hopefully, that's kind of the one thing that's a sort of a silver lining, is that we had each other the very day and immediately after, and we've had each other's back ever since then, and we'll continue to stand with El Paso going forward.
A very sincere thank you to all the phenomenal artists for sharing their thoughts with us and for taking the time to create and donate a poster. Again, we encourage you all to show your El Paso strong spirit and generosity by placing a bid on the poster. On behalf of Proper Print Shop and all the artists who graciously participated, we thank you all for the continued support. Thank you, El Paso.